Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Britt, creator of The Style Shaker, your guide to cleaner, greener, better for you beauty, skincare, and beyond. I try these products out for you so you know what to buy and more importantly, what not to buy. Today I am back with a dedicated review for the KJAER WEIS Invisible Touch Liquid Foundation. I have this in shade M222. Gave it a shot. I'm going to tell you all about it. So if you want to learn more, then stick around and let's get into it. All right, before I dive into this, real quick, if you like seeing honest product reviews over here, don't forget to give this video a like. It really helps support the channel, so I appreciate it. Details for this in a nutshell. By the way, I am filming in a new studio and my air conditioning just went on and it's really hot, so I need to let it run. But if that has some type of background noise, then now you know what it is. Sorry guys, I'm learning. New studio, learning. There are 24 shades available. It is $48 and is supposed to be a serum-like foundation that combines skincare with a natural light to medium coverage formula. Again, the word natural. It gives a natural, slightly luminous finish. It's supposed to be long-lasting for all-day wear. It's supposed to be hydrating as well. It is vegan. It is cruelty-free. Has some organic ingredients and is gluten-free. It also has some pretty cool packaging. Typical of the brand, they have some of the most beautiful packaging out there. So I'm going to go through the scorecard. What is the scorecard? If you're new here, the short story is it's the foundation of every review that I do. 7 short questions, details on that below. And it always starts with the first question, which is all about ingredients. And let me tell you, how do the ingredients look? I feel like at this point brands have heard enough consumers going, fragrance is bad, the word parfum is bad. Anything like that can consist of a number of different ingredients. You would think that at this point in the game people would have gotten it. Evidently not, because the word parfum is on this bottle. I purchased this from Credo Beauty. I know they have a radical transparency thing for fragrance, or radical fragrance transparency, which I certainly appreciate. But the truth is, if I'm gonna be honest, which I always am, just tell me what's in it. Just tell me what's inside. And if you say the words proprietary blend, understood, I will go elsewhere. So I've reached out and asked the question of the brand. I also asked Credo experts. They weren't able to tell me, which is okay. Parfum is in this. Hugely disappointed. I welcome and open this to the brand. If there's something I'm missing here, if there's something you want to share with us through a comment on this video, we would love to hear it. Other than that, I'd just like you to be fully transparent and tell me what's inside that I'm putting on my face. It's going into my body, part of it. Not all of it, but part of it. So now that I've gone on for a long time about that, because it's a pet peeve. There are also coconut derivatives in here, which may irritate some skin types. Mine, usually fine. But for some people, it can be irritating and pore clogging. Next, coverage. Happier note here, because the coverage was really, really lovely. This is a serum-like foundation, so the consistency is a little more lightweight, like they said. That's the claim. It stands up to the claim completely. The coverage was light to medium for me. Proper, you have the option of getting the kind of signature KJAER WEIS additional dropper cover if you'd like it, which I think is cool because then it's less wasteful, I guess. I don't know, whatever. You have that option if you want it, I don't care. The dropper is very narrow. I'm nitpicking, but it's very narrow and it does not pull enough product into it. It was a little frustrating for me, just a little. I don't think it's a non-negotiable. It comes out very thin, it's very liquidy, it's not watery, it's just a thinner formula. So initially I thought, I don't know what this is gonna do when it goes on. But I applied it, dabbed it on with my fingers, and then from there I just pressed it in with a sponge. Totally evened things out and it looked incredibly natural. I really did like the coverage. I think it melted in really nicely. Was it perfection? No, very few things are, but it was close. It received a 4 out of 5 on the scorecard for coverage. Does it blend and build well? I just mentioned how well it blended and built. I would say that, again, you want to go with a sponge here. Combination skin type. I had moisturizer on underneath. I tried it, interestingly enough, with a cream moisturizer versus an oil. I use a lot of facial oils myself. And it blended in better with the oil underneath than it did the cream moisturizer. Is that going to be the case for you? I really don't know, but I'm just sharing because it might be helpful. Another thing to note here is powder really just went on top of it. Bronzer, setting powder, anything else underneath, whatever, it all worked well. It played well with the other products on the face. It didn't budge, it didn't look ruddy. It just gave a really nice even coverage, and it did have a bit of a luminous finish, by the way, so my skin looked like skin. I should have said that before, but I'm saying it now. But for blending and building, overall, it received a 4 out of 5 on the scorecard. Does it last all day? Well, the claim is that it's a very long-lasting formula that hydrates you throughout the day. So I say yes, it did last for the majority of the day, especially considering I piled on the moisturizer underneath. My skin's just trying to get back into balance after the past few months. Long story, won't go into it. Okay, it is the end of day wear test for the KJAER WEIS foundation, and I have it applied with the kabuki brush on this side. I had it applied with the sponge on this side, and overall, I will zoom. Nothing like a good end of day zoom. You can see that where the kabuki brush was used, it actually gathered a little bit. On this side, the coverage faded a little bit. It still looked pretty good by the end of the day. Same for the forehead, actually. It looks more even on this side, and it doesn't feel like anything. I can't even tell that it's there. But yeah, I think it's still doing its thing wherever I used it, applying the sponge. Not so much with the kabuki. Application matters. I think it did a fantastic job. Got a 4 out of 5 again on the scorecard. Next up, is it a non-irritating formula? 2 out of 5, mainly because I don't know what's inside of it. But hopefully they'll tell me, and then I will tell you. Is the shade range inclusive? I was debating 3 out of 4 here. There were 24 shades, and they weren't erring on the side of too light, well, they rarely err on just tons of options for darker skin types. So I feel like there was a good mix of colors here. 24, I think, is a respectable number, and it got a 4 out of 5 on the scorecard because of that. Finally, is this a consciously created product? There are so many factors that go into this. I was just on a conference call, and it was all about sustainability and packaging, and I was glued to this. I mean, like, I just geeked out completely. And I learned even more about what sustainability looks like in the supply chain, and how really the goal is to have circular packaging that's consistently recycled or reused, which is why having refills is so important. So because this does not have a refill available, I gave it a 2 out of 5. Nothing can score higher than that on the channel if there's no refill available, but it's KJAER WEIS. I feel like they're working on that, or maybe they will work on that. I hope they work on it. The other thing I learned too is that glass is not always necessarily better than plastic, because glass is heavier. There's a larger carbon footprint involved from A to Z, the entire life cycle of the product. So it's complicated, but I'm gonna say that I wish refills were available. I'll stick to that. That is all. By the way, for my scent people, it has a subtle, sweet, semi-spicy kind of, like, I don't know, it smells like kind of a fall formula, but I'd say it's a little more on the sweet side. It is very subtle, like I mentioned, so I wouldn't worry about it. I didn't find it to be overwhelming. I just didn't have one of those questions called out in the scorecard. I wanted you to know. The current total score for this foundation is a 20 out of 30. I am again waiting to hear back on Parfum. Super disappointed. Need a minute. Okay. Really hope that I'm just being overly dramatic there, and that they're gonna come back and say, oh, it's just this, this, and this. They're totally benign. Final verdict, would I buy it again? Well, first I have to determine what's inside. If I like the ingredients inside, then I think I might buy it again. Yeah. I really liked this foundation a lot, and this is the first product, performance-wise, again, need to hear back on those ingredients. I sound like a broken record. But it's the first KJAER WEIS product, performance-wise, outside of an eyeliner that I've recently tried from them, that I really like and could see using over and over again. Maybe it'll make my Britt's picks list. I don't know about that yet. If I hear back clear, transparent information and I'm not upset about what's inside, then yeah, I would absolutely consider repurchasing this. I just wish there were refills available, so hopefully they're working on that. And there you have it. That's what the scorecard says. That's what I say. What do you think about this foundation? Have you tried it yet? Do you want to try it? Are you going to try it? Try a sample of it? Or are you just as kind of bugged as I am about this word parfum in it? Because I was pretty bugged. Share your comments below. I love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell so you never miss a thing. I'm gonna go put this away and test some more products over here. I will be right back real soon. Until then, bye.